Here's a match in the Wheezy 120 platooned with Viet Campo's T-54, and this one's not an enormously tense game or like a huge carry or anything, but it's a good demonstration of not only why these two tanks work so well together, but also a couple of minor things I'd like to kind of squeeze into a video at some point. So, to start with, the Wheezy 120 is a Type 59. That's literally the industrial index of Type 59. The difference is that, unlike its premium cousin, the Wheezy 120 gets this gun, which is a 122mm gun with about 250-260mm of penetration on AP rounds. It used to have 400mm of heat penetration, but it lost that when heat was nerfed in 8.6. It is an immensely powerful gun. 440 average damage, fires about once every 10-11 seconds, depending on what kind of crew and equipment you've got on there. It is a monster of a gun. Now, to trade off for this, it gets very bad gun handling, although not the worst, and also terrible gun depression. It only has about 2 or 3 degrees of gun depression. I think it's 2 degrees, could be wrong. It's also a little bit more sluggish than the T-54, and it has a 20mm thicker turret, but 20mm thinner hull, same as the Type 59. But the real reason this and the 54 work so well together is because 54 has excellent gun handling and excellent rate of fire. To make up for this thing's poor rate of fire and poor gun handling, and the Wheezy 120 has the alpha and the pen that the T-54 just does not have. Both of them are about the same size, same mobility, very similar tanks, so they can keep up with each other easily. It's quite a strong platoon structure running a pair of T-54s and a 120, or even a pair of 120s and a 54, because if you can keep them together in a pack, it's exactly like, it's a wolf pack, except one of them has a heavy tank gun, pretty much. And oh look, hovering rock, good job wargaming. So having just cleaned out the Danger Canyon, we make our way up to the top, clean up that light tank and the Leopard, and now, because the enemy team just got face rolled, we decide to play aggressively. Via takes the low road, I take the high road. The enemy team does still have a lot of alpha. E100, 183, JPE, all that stuff is still scary. So, should have really aimed that shot. You didn't want to be sitting still because of that. So you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm staying to the right to keep terrain between myself and him. He can't see me, he doesn't know I'm doing this. As far as he's concerned, I'm hiding somewhere in that trench way back, and then suddenly, oh look, I pop up right next to him. And he only just respotted me there. So even if it's the end of the game and you can afford to take a hit, why bother? Just sneak around the side, use terrain to your advantage. Like, if you have eyes to see, you should really be able to tell if there's enough defilade to cover your tank, and in this case the Wheezy 120 is quite small, so you can sneak it through all kinds of places. But so much of being good at this game, especially medium tanks, is just knowing terrain, especially if you've got a hull down tank or a tank that doesn't have gun depression like this. You need to be able to know what terrain you need to shoot from, what terrain you can use to cover your side as you move up, what terrain you can hide in. It's really crucial knowledge. Something to start paying attention to if you don't already. So you can see here again, I'm looking for the low ground. And then I decide, fuck it, I can tank a hit from the E100, especially since it's got the 128. And then with him not sure who to shoot at, I just work my way around the side and get shot through side of his turret. So nice, easy, simple game. Most of the damage I got in was at the end here, just cleaning up the last few enemy tanks, but not a bad match. You can see the strength of these two tanks working together. Viet and I kept up with each other easily all match. E100 tried to jam me against the rock, but it was not successful. And that's that. If you haven't played this thing already, I'd recommend trying it. Not everyone's going to like it because of the lack of gun depression. I know Hardest hates it because he can't get his gun to depress. Jingles hates it. There's a bunch of people who just can't stand it. But it's one of my favorite tanks, actually. I really enjoy it. I think once you figure out how to work around its weaknesses, it becomes one of the strongest tanks probably in the game. Certainly one of the strongest medium tanks. And a really great platoon mate for T-54s.